try to get everything going, but you've got kids like McCord Christiansen. You've got all of these dudes, the Alafipo kids. You've got so many good players that I'm so excited to see, especially Malachi. He's a kid that I'm stoked to see. But on the other side, led by Coach Lee Leslie, I had a great conversation before the game. I was like, this guy is the godfather of football. He's like, yeah, when I was coaching at the U, when I was coaching at Kahuku, when I was coaching and originally took Hans Olsen as my first pick with the Blaze, I was like, this is the coolest man alive. So fun. It's going to be an exciting game, and the spectacle before the game. The head cheerleader coming out on a horse. I was like, I've seen backflips, I've seen front flips. I've never seen a cheerleader on a horse. What a cool situation. So I am stoked. So many storylines, so many good things. And Crimson Cliffs took the 5.5-hour drive to get out here for us to watch the beautiful game.
So let's take a look at these two teams as we wait for our coin toss tonight. Let's talk about the visiting team. You just mentioned Crimson Cliffs coming all the way up from southern Utah to come and take on the Stansbury Stallions squad. This is the third time that they've come up to northern Utah this season. They went to Morgan and Springville already this season. They're 1-1 in those two games. But the Mustangs, the defending 4A champs, and they've got a tremendous talent in the backfield in McCord Christiansen.
Oh my goodness, McCord Christiansen, he came all the way to Crimson Cliffs, and he wanted to make a statement. He's like, Moose, why am I not getting recruited more? And I'm like, honestly, bro, I have no clue. College coaches, for all you millions and millions that are tuning in, make sure you watch this kid close, because McCord is an absolute dog. I love watching what he does and seeing what he does, but he's got a tough task this week, because Stansbury always has great D linemen. They're very sound, and with this man at the helm, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, talking about the Stansbury defense, one of the top defenses in points allowed per game in the state of Utah. They're number one in 4A in the classification. They're 8th in the state in points allowed per game. They allow only 12 points a game, the Stansbury Stallions defense, and that'll be the big matchup tonight, that high-powered offense for Crimson Cliffs against this tough defense for Stansbury.
I don't know if Stansbury's seen quite the receiving core and quite the talent that Crimson has, but they were dominant last week. They beat Park City, who I had as one of the top teams in 4A. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because Stansbury shocked a lot of people, and they've got a lot of talent coming onto the field this way, and they've had talent come through here for years with the Halu kids, and especially Zane Anderson, who I played with at BYU. You're like, there's NFL guys possibly on this field tonight.
That's it. You mentioned Stansbury getting that win against Park City. Park City was undefeated at that point. There was a big electric atmosphere out here in Stansbury for that game. Because of that win, the Stallions are now moving up in the rankings. They come into the RPI as the 8th ranked team in 4A. They're now the 24th ranked team in the state of Utah, as voted on by our good colleagues from the Rewind crew, Jeff and Dane. Put them in at number 24 this week.
Not high enough if you ask me.
Meanwhile, you have on the other side, surprisingly, Crimson Cliffs is 25 in the Rewind. So we got a battle of these two teams that are in that fringe thing. Neither of these teams were ranked last week in the top 25, at least followed the Rewind 25, and both these teams are ranked as they come into this clash tonight.
If you look at the Moose 25 that did not come out this week, usually I do a 15. We've got number 1 versus number 2.
So as you saw the coin toss, Crimson Cliffs won. They elected to defer to the second half, so we'll see Stansbury on offense to kick things off tonight. Crimson Cliffs is in the red and white tonight. They move left to right in our opening quarter. The Stallions are in the black and blue uniforms. They'll move right to left as we get ready to kick things off in Tooele County. Moose, our first trip out here this year.
Coach Leslie, when we were talking to him earlier, he's like, I coached at Tooele back in the day. And I'm like, of course you did. And he's like, I was retired for a while, and then my grandson had to coach him. I'm like, that checks out. And he's like, but I can't believe we have 3 high schools in this valley and we're adding a 4th. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Say the population is just growing exponentially out here in Tooele County. As we're getting ready for should be a great matchup tonight. Calder Pace has this one teed up and ready to go. 3 receivers back to field this one for Stansbury.
Well, that's new. I haven't seen this formation ever, and for you special teams aficionados, this should be a good one.
As we're underway, this one will be fielded by Wyatt Oliver as he takes it up the middle and collides into a tackler at the 26. That was Micah Salahuddin, actually number 11 instead of 21.
Yeah, Micah Salahuddin, it was interesting. Coming into the game, coach was like, watch out for this kid, he's a dog. And I'm like, there seems to be no puppies on this team for sure, only dogs.
So Stansbury will start 1st and 10 from their own 27, led out by the senior Coleman Dearman. They'll have 2 backs in the backfield on 1st and 10. So let's hand this one off to Ferry. First carry for him. He's got space up the far side. He's got a 1st down after a gain of 13 for Tyson Ferry.
Tyson Ferry, you're going to see him a lot tonight. And you'll also see Max Griffiths, 33 that was chasing him down. Just a slender 6'3", 210-pound inside backer. I really like Max Griffiths. He's a dude that you're like, 3-3, let's freaking go.
Gain of 13 on that one, brings a new set of downs. 1st and 10 from the 40. They'll send Cephas in motion and whistles before the snap. It'll be a false start on the Stallions.
False start, Stallions.
So back up the Stansbury offense back to the 35-yard line.
That's the one thing you never want to see on a drive. After you get that positive 1st down, you're like, let's freaking go. And then the line's like, oh, went a little too fast.
So 1st and 15 upcoming. They'll send 4 wideouts into the formation here on 1st and long. Ferry in the backfield. In motion is Salahuddin. Comes into the backfield. A lot of motion pre-snap here for Stansbury. They'll hand this one off again to Ferry. Able to break a tackle and get about a yard.
Ferry did a good job there, but then it seemed like he was met by 45. Keegan Barrows, 6'2", 225 pounds, was able to use quick hands and quickly get into the backfield. So Stansbury, you're going to see a lot of motion. You're going to see a lot of trickery and tomfoolery out here. But these are smart kids that can get the ball going.
Gain of 1 on that one, brings up 2nd and 14. And they will spread it out here on 2nd and long. Again, Cephas in motion. Dearman looks his way, and Cephas out past, spins, tried to spin back inside of the 40. He's out of bounds at about the 39.
So I was teaching my wife football this week, and I said, hey, when there's no one in the backfield, it's almost guaranteed that it's a pass. And she said, okay, cool. That is the one exception right there when you bring a wide receiver in motion and you pitch him the ball outside and you're like, it's basically a run. That's what I call a Mike Leach run right there, where it's getting the ball in the flats and getting going.
Got about 3 yards on that one and brings up 3rd and 11 here for Stansbury. Opening quarter, 10:15 to play. As Dearman takes it and rolls out. Has room in front. He's going to elect to run, and he's met by a group of Mustangs there at the 45. He's about 5 yards short of the 1st down, and we have a shaken up Mustang down there. Looks like that's number 50, Cason Cuff.
Got the tackle, but he's down on the ground. Hopefully he's okay.
So while they take a look at Cuff, we'll step aside and take our first break of the night with 10:01 to play. No score here from Stansbury. Welcome back. As Cason Cuff was able to get off the field under his own power. Good to see. And we'll see the Stallions punt on 4th and 5 here.
Cason Cuff is just a football guy. He was ready to go back in. He's like, okay, I got shaken up. Oh, whoop up.
Back to punt for the Stallions is Logan Lewis. On the other side, Chris Jansen's going to let this one bounce. And it'll be picked up by the Stallions, but there is a flag down back at the 44-yard line.
Down by number 27.
Over on the line, is almost near the line of scrimmage on the far side.
If they didn't like that punt, they may be redoing it, or it's a 1st down. I'm so excited to see what's going on. Big call for Coach Wayne.
Our head referee tonight is Win Pede. He's got an illegal motion on Stansbury. And they'll walk off the 5 yards and make him re-kick it.
I always hated that as a kicker and punter. It's like, I did my job, the ball looks good, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, crap, looks like I got to go kick again. Never a happy day. We'd be having a little conversation with whoever was making the penalty.
So Lewis will have to punt this one away. He lines up at about his own 28-yard line. Christiansen at his own 20 to field this kick.
Sneaking on the field late there.
Yeah, Stallions had one person late. No one's covering him over here. Now they send someone. As Lewis able to get a good kick, drifting near side. Christiansen's just going to have to let it fall. And it will settle inside the 10. A great kick on that one, but there is another flag at the line of scrimmage in the same area as the last penalty. Let's see what the call is here, and it is an illegal formation again on Stansbury.
Man, you don't usually see these week 7 as often as this, but week 7, right?
Yes, week 7.
Okay. You gave me a look like, I don't know
I
if
had to
it's week 7. He was checking his watch. He's like, I don't know about that one, Moose. But for those of you who want to watch repeated punts, this is the game for you. Let's go.
This will be the third punt in a row. I would assume that Coach Alofipo would like to push this one back after that one settled inside the 10.
Yeah, I feel like McCord's been watching a little bit too much BYU. Let's get the ball this time. This is your third time. It's the charm.
So
Better catch it.
Yep, we'll try it for the third time here, this time from the 35-yard line. As Crimson Cliffs almost gets to that one. Spiral kick near side. Christiansen will field it at his own 30. Not a lot of blockers to help out, though. Gets about 1 on the return, and that's where Crimson Cliffs will set up shop for their first drive of the night. And we talked about Christiansen, one of the top running backs in the state of Utah. He leads this offense out on the field.
Oh, McCord, he can do it all. You see that he's got that brace on his right knee, but I just ignore that because he is an absolute dude out there. This offense has weapons everywhere, and let's see if the quarterback can get it to him.
So Crimson Cliffs going to the air immediately as that pass incomplete. Intended for Jackson Holt. Then that was the first throw for Ryder Sherritt, who's one of the top 10 quarterbacks in 4A. He comes in tonight, tied for 8th in passing touchdowns. Threw for 243 yards and 2 touchdowns last week in the win against Snow Canyon for Crimson Cliffs, as Christiansen gets the call on second down and goes backwards, and a flag comes in late. Maybe in the vicinity of a late hit.
Yeah, they're looking out for that this year. They're saying, hey, nothing sketchy, and especially after watching Utah, you saw Cam Rising get a late hit from the Gatorade.
From the whole Gatorade table. As it's a personal foul on Stansbury for the late hit, and it gives the Mustangs a new set of downs. Spot the ball all the way out at midfield.
Just giving the Crimson Cliffs Stallions life.
So what would have been a 3rd and 11 turns into a 1st and 10 from midfield. So Sherritt in the offense, trips to the left. Fake the handoff, and a good pass breakup at the line. That one from number 48, that's Cole Tincher with the pass breakup for Stansbury.
Cole Tincher, it says 6'1", but he climbed the ladder right there. He looks like a Kafusi flying up there and getting high. Wow, great job, great height. Cole, we see you all the way from up here. You're not 6'1", you're probably 6'9".
Good awareness to stop that slant pass, brings up 2nd and 10. Sherritt to throw once again. This one just dumps it out in the flat. He's got Holt, and he's near a 1st down as he's tackled out by the 40.
Phenomenal blocking by Malachi Alafipo up there at the top of your screen. That would not have been close to a 1st down had he not just driven the defensive back out there.
Gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 1. Mustangs quickly to the line. As Sherritt gets the call, offensive coordinator Andy Stokes. Trips to the near side. They'll hand it off to Christiansen, trying to navigate his way through. He's got the first down and breaks a tackle. There he goes up the far side. One man to beat. He's got a touchdown.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Christiansen, he's like a doctor out there diagnosing what's going on. You thought it was a loss of downs. I saw a body on the floor. I was like, is that Christiansen? And no! Heaven forbid, you're just like, oh, get the boy down or he's going to be getting a touchdown right there. Great run to get on the board early for Crimson Cliffs.
How about the Houdini act on the sidelines? Came out of that pile and took it all the way for the touchdown.
I would call him a Houdini, except for you don't expect it sometimes from Houdini. You always expect it from McCord Christiansen.
Line drive, extra point kick is good from Calder Pace. And Crimson Cliffs gets on the board 7-0 here early in the first quarter.
Calder.
And Moose, I will give you this stat as well. Talking about Christiansen's one of the top running backs in the state of Utah. That touchdown round puts him over 1,000 yards on the season.
Oh, that's what you like to see by week 7. It takes NFL running backs like 29 weeks to get there. Not McCord. He's like, give me 7 and I'll be there.
He came in tonight as the third on the rushing leader chart across the state of Utah. Only 2 running backs had more yards going into tonight. Caden Vest from Spanish Fork and Dyson Parker out of Weber are the only 2.
Well, with that rush, get out the way, Vest. Get out the way, Parker. Goodness. Great run. Great job. And you have to contain them because that's on a 3rd down. That's the money down. That's where you make your money. And all you college coaches watching, you might have to send him some money if you want him playing for you next year.
Pace lets this one go. Salahuddin will take it near his own goal line, and he fights his way out past the 25. Spotted at 27. We'll see the Stallions for the second time, trying to answer that long touchdown from Crimson Cliffs.
I actually really like the 3 returners on that because it gives you 2 guys going for blocks, and it also makes it that if the ball's not going in the end zone, you're returning it.
So 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line for Stansbury. They'll send 4 wideouts into the formation with Ferry in the backfield. They'll fake the handoff, and Dearman takes it on the read option, and the Mustangs in hot pursuit. First one there is Major Stokes with the tackle for loss.
Now, Major's one of my favorite players in the state. He's getting offered at tight end. He's getting offered at DN. Already has Pac-12 offers from Oregon State, and he'll probably get a BYU. But his dad's the offensive coordinator. I love what these coaches have done. Stokes said, I don't want to yell at my kid, you take him, Wayne. And Wayne said, I don't want to yell at my kids, you take mine.
Kind of works out well for both the coaches for Crimson Cliffs. It's Dearman under duress, and he has to go down at about the 25.
Yeah, these 2 coaches, they're best friends, Wayne and Andy. Great dudes. Andy went and took the Timpview job, was the head coach there for a few years. Got close to a state title, never quite got over the hill. And Wayne said, come on back down, bring your family, let's win a title together. And that's exactly what they did last year in year 1.
Yeah, they're the defending 4A champions. Their first state title in this is only their 6th season as a school down there in southern Utah. As rolling out, this is Brighton Rutzel in quarterback. He takes a deep shot, connects. Luke Rich out past the 45. Goes up and gets it, still breaking tackles. And down near the 20, a big play for Stansbury.
Fantastic job there by Brighton Renzel. My goodness gracious, he came in and he said, Coach, let me sling it. And he slung it. Got right over the tips of the fingers of the defender right into Rich, and you're just like, okay, we've got ourselves a game.
Gain of 52 on that pitch and catch, and it's 1st and 10 from the 22.
I didn't think they were going to pass it, neither did Crimson Cliffs.
1st and 10. Dearman's going to hold on to that one. And Dearden gets about 1 on that one to the 21.
33, Max Griffin.
But how about that? Just completely switched the field on that one. Brighton comes in tonight. He has 10 completed passes for 242 yards and 3 touchdowns. So they have had a couple quarterbacks in for Stansbury this season.
Yeah, he's mainly a reliever, but all of a sudden, Coleman Dearden is all like, I got to protect my job.
Dearden's back in at quarterback, 2 backs in the backfield. They'll hand this one off to Peterson, and a flag flies as he's got a first down. We'll see what the call is, though.
Stansbury's already walking back. I feel like the accuser, he's like, yeah, that was me.
Flags down at the 19-yard line, so may not be as bad as it's a hold on Stansbury, but it's back from the spot of the foul.
Oh, these fans are not happy about this.
So back it up to the 30-yard line. So a 9-yard penalty for the Stallions brings up second and about 18. 2 backs in the backfield again here. Dearden's going to hand it off to Ferry. He goes right into the pile and wrestled down to the 26.
Looks like it was 36 Jet Cowden that made the tackle right there. Here's the thing. When you run against Crimson Cliffs, you're running into the teeth of a ferocious defense. And Stansbury, they're not having a ton of luck with running the ball, but they have done good attacking the flats. When I say the flats, kind of the area in front of the cornerbacks, so that you can go and get after that open area and away from the middle and the teeth of that defense.
3rd and 14 here for Stansbury as Dearden stays in the pocket, throws for the end zone, too far, incomplete.
Oh, there's a flag.
But a flag comes in late, intended for Logan Lewis. In coverage was Tyler Gibb for Crimson Cliffs.
Tyler Gibbs trying to say, hey, that was uncatchable, ref. I don't know about that one, but it looked pretty passy interference from here at least.
We'll wait to see the call from our officiating crew.
Oh, they're waving it off.
They waved off the flag. They mentioned what you thought Gibb was thinking. That ball was probably uncatchable.
Wayne's on the other side saying, that was definitely not catchable. I'll tell you that right now. He was heated on the sideline.
Head coach Lee Leslie wants an explanation.
Lee said, that was catchable. You don't know my guys. I got Megatron on the side.
So the offense stays out here for Stansbury on 4th and 14.
That's a big field goal. We did have the Pink Panther last week, but I don't know if the Pink Panther suited up.
We had 3 different 50-yard attempts last game in that Alta Highland game. Neither kicker for either of these teams has attempted a field goal this season.
We did see Stansbury's kicker out here kicking from the 40, saying, Coach, just give me a shot. I want that 50.
All right, we got a timeout called by the Stallions, so we'll take the timeout as well. 5 minutes to play here in our opening quarter. 4th down decision upcoming for Stansbury. Welcome back. 5 minutes to play in our opening quarter between Crimson Cliffs and Stansbury. Glad you guys could join us to kick off your weekend here on KSL Sports Rewind. Action-packed weekend of football about to get underway with our high school games tonight.
Man, this has been a delicious time. Just went to the corn dog factory and got myself a corn dog in that little break.
And Stansbury goes for it on 4th and 14. Dearden over the middle's got Ferry.
Whoa!
First down inside the 5 for Tyson Ferry.
Tyson Ferry, I love to see that. What a call. I might have been punting or kicking a field goal. Coach Lee's sitting there. He's like, I've been doing this for 40 years, Moose. I know what I'm doing.
Gain a 34 on that one, and it's 1st and goal, Stansbury.
What a play call.
See if the Stallions can punch it in here on 1st and goal. Hand it off, and gathering his footing and finding the corner is Noah Seifus for the touchdown.
Man, we've got ourselves a game now with that 4th down. Holy cow, there's a reason no kickers have seen the field this season. They're like, we've got 4 downs to get a 1st down. Watch us.
So the Stallions able to answer, get a big 4th down conversion, and cash it in on the next play. Noah Seifus with the rushing touchdown.
Oh.
Let's hold on one more. Had one too many there. Or
I think he had too much swagger. We're calling that the swagger penalty this year. Just a bit too much. Deion Sanders would never have made it on the field.
For Seifus, it's his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. Is on to kick. Logan Lewis. Kick is up. And it's good. And how about that? An answer from the Stallions with 4:33 to play. It's tied at 7, Moose.
Logan's sitting there. He's like, hey, coach, just to let you know, I would have made that from 50.
And my apologies, that's Ethan Clegg that is doing the kicking duties. So we have a different punter and a different kicker tonight.
Hey, that's how it always should be.
Always good to see that at the 4A level. You see a lot of guys playing both sides of the ball. We saw with Alta last week, as McAllister did both the punting and kicking duties.
Well, it seemed like when you get to the lower levels, we're used to calling 6A, where it's like, hey, you've got one position. When you look at these depth charts, it's like running back, linebacker, running back, wide receiver, corner, quarterback. We'll just throw you out there and make a play. Get her done, son.
Well, we saw that from Manasa Pela last week, too, from Highland.
Oh, he played everything.
Star quarterback and star defensive back as well. As Crimson Cliffs will field this one. And finding way through up the far side as Holt, the flags fly in the backfield. Gets out to the 33, but this one will be coming back.
Gabriel Talia's sitting there, and he's like, come on, ref. I had 2 guys clipping me there. It wasn't a hold. It was a grab and run. And he's going to get his wish.
So holding on, Crimson Cliffs will back this thing up from the spot of the foul, so it should be around the 11-yard line.
He didn't even have to argue his case that time.
So at 4:24 to play in our opening quarter, Crimson Cliffs will go to work for their second drive on offense tonight.
Not as good a field position this time. It was almost the field position if we would have taken punt number 2.
Last time was the 31-yard line, so yes, 20-yard difference that time. Officially spotted at the 14-yard line, so 1st and 10, trips to the near side. Sherritt over the middle finds Holt, and he's spun down at the 20, picks about 8 on first down.
Andy likes to spread everyone out. Andy is a genius offensive coordinator. It's so fun to watch him. I've sat down with him, talking to him, and I'm like, I am so dumb when it comes to football when I'm in a room with you. It's like sitting down with Einstein and asking him about gravity, and he'll go into every little detail that you can see.
Well, he had all those high-powered offenses at Timphy when he was under the reins there. As Sherritt finds the man on the far side and getting out near the 35-yard line. That's Boston Barrow, first catch tonight.
Yeah, it's interesting. Helaman Kasuga, bless his heart, it looks like he's out for the rest of the season, but he was just about a hair transferring to Crimson Cliffs to be with Andy Stokes because he's like, I want to be with the genius.
Handoff on first down. Christiansen gets maybe 2 yards.
Yeah, Andy Stokes, he's a guy I'd put in the same conversation as Eric Kerr and those top offensive coordinators from this state. And honestly, when you say from this state, it's from the country.
Yeah.
We have coaches leaving the University of Utah to be on the sidelines like Coach Leslie down here.
2nd and 8. Pass far side finds Barrow for another first down, and Crimson Cliffs on the move here.
Great catch, Barrow. That seemed a little bit sketchy to me. It's like when you drive your old car from the 90s. You're like, hopefully I get there, and eventually you get from point A to point B. But it's a little bit sketchy.
Gain of 8 brings a new set of downs for the Mustangs. Sherritt again throwing, this time back to Holt. He's got another first down as the Mustangs into Stansbury territory.
Yeah, last week Stansbury was playing Park City, and they're like, we're used to minors. We're used to grinding out a game where you're running the ball almost the whole time. No, this is an air attack. Say hello to Mike Leach for me because this is what we're looking at.
Going to the air so far is Sherritt over the middle, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Holt, but there's a flag down back at the line of scrimmage.
Lineman or 5 downfield.
Looks like it might be that, as we'll see the call. Yep, Moose called it.
I don't know how many linemen were downfield. He could have called it any number between 50 and 99, and he would have been right on that one.
They'll back it up to the 48.
We got to take you guys to the wells to learn how to hold your water line.
1st and 15 now for the Mustangs. A little surprised the air it out attack so far with how well Christiansen's been running the ball.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You spread it out, get used to that, and then all of a sudden, no.
Mishandled snap, and back is Sherritt at his own 25, and he's going down. But did he lose the football too?
I think he was already down. But great job by Mason Maxwell. It was a plethora, and it looks like 40 Cole Tincher as well.
I think Tincher was in there, and I think Maxwell says he had the ball.
Well, let's see. Does the ref agree?
I'll say, I think the Crimson Cliffs defense went on the field. Nope, they're going back out, so it is just the big loss.
Well, that first down is a ways away. Oh!
And we'll get 5 yards of that back. It would have been a 2nd and 40, Moose.
Well, now it's just your typical 2nd and 35. Looks like we're in a good situation.
My goodness. So spot the ball at the 33-yard line, so that would have been the 28. I have to do my math here to see how big of a loss that was.
It's a big one.
That would be, I'll talk about it in a second, as that one's incomplete. Looking for Barrow. If I do my math correctly, that was a 24-yard loss on that one.
Man, that's a 24 yards.
So it brings up 3rd and 34 here for Crimson Cliffs. Send 3 wideouts to the near, 1 to the far. Right for Ryder Sherritt. Sherritt, good pocket, throws near side, in and out of the hands of Alofipo.
They're so far, it seems like the Proclaimers, who sang the song 500 Miles, would be measuring that out, because it's quite a distance to the first down. If you can get your foot on this ball to get it to the first down, you're doing a great job, Braden Smith.
It'll be Braden Smith that'll pump this one away as the incomplete pass brings up 4th down.
Because hopefully he could punt 500 miles and he could punt 500 more.
He's going to try and back up Zaviah Patch and Luke Rich that are back to field this one for Stansbury.
Oh, taking his time.
And good kick. Near side. It'll be picked up and wrestled down immediately as Patch.
You know what? I respect that because he let his gunner get down. A lot of times you've got the rollout punt where you've got your rugby kicker sitting there and he's like, okay, let's get our guys down so we get total net. But high IQ move, waiting to punt by not seeing a lot of pressure. Taking your time. I like it.
So Stansbury takes over with 1:36 to play in our opening quarter. Best field position starting for the Stallions tonight. 3 wideouts in the formation, 2 backs in the backfield. They'll hand this one off to Ferry, and he slips at the 35. It'll be a loss of 2.
I like this field. It's a grass field, got a little hump in the middle. You're just like, okay, this is old school football.
We don't really see a whole lot of grass fields anymore.
There's 3 in this valley, but there's word that there's a turf one coming in. Don't tell anyone, though.
Do you want to tell us?
Yeah, we can tell you. It's at the new high school, unfortunately.
That was easy.
Yeah,
that was a lot easier
guys.
than I thought it was going to be. 2nd and 12 here for Stansbury. Dearden, near side, pressure's coming, tries to escape, and nifty feet work gets him back past the original line of scrimmage.
He's been working the ladder this summer. You can see that. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Get up the field. Let's go.
Spotted the 38 and to bring up 3rd and 9. And we've seen the Stallions not afraid to go for it on 4th down so far today.
Absolutely not. I expect him to go for it on 4th down every time now.
So I'll send trips to the right. And Dearden looks that way. Throws over the far side looking for Rich.
Woo!
And he goes up and gets it. What a catch for
Climbing
Luke
the
Rich.
ladder. I love to see Rich. He's money. Luke Rich is all over the field. I'll tell you that right now.
Gain of 10, gets a 1st down to the senior with a big catch. That's 2 for him so far tonight.
Man. Just keep feeding him. He's a horse. He's hungry.
leading receiver for the Stallions this season. 21 receptions, 317 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the senior. As that ends our first quarter, 12 minutes in the books here from Stansbury High. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment. We're tied at 7 here on KSL Sports Rewind. Welcome back, and ready to start our second quarter here between Stansbury and Crimson Cliffs. The Stallions with a new set of downs at the 48. Matt Coma, Moose Bingham with you here on our Friday night broadcast as Dearden gives this one off. That is Cyphus, who had the touchdown a moment ago, gets about a yard gain.
Man, you're seeing the grass field. You're like, this is old school football. When your coach has been coaching for 40 years, he's saying, A-gap, let's go. That's an A-plus play right there. Let's see how tough these Crimson Cliffs guys are from down south. And you can tell they're pretty tough.
You mentioned Coach Leslie. This is his first season at Stansbury, but he's been a head coach in Utah for a long time. Was a head coach at Tooele back in the 80s and early 90s, and then coached at Hillcrest in the mid-90s. As Dearden going to let this one go for Rich, too far.
Braden Smith is sitting there, and he's like, that one might have been catchable. Come on, coach.
Got a score update for you, Moose. A little bit of maybe an upset alert. American Fork up 14-0 on Lone Peak.
Of course, because Region 2, Region 3. Region 3 can't have nice things.
No, they say they are the Pac-12 of the...
They're the SEC.
They're the
Pac-12.
SEC. Well, they're the SEC of the caliber-wise, but they're the cannibalistic natures of the Pac-12. As over on that far side, it's Cyphus. Flag flies back in the line of scrimmage.
Man, the refs are definitely making themselves known this game.
A lot of flags so far here tonight.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I was
by
going
Pac-12.
for that,
I was like,
yes.
It's a lot better conference than the Pac-12.
Yes, I would argue, yes, it is the SEC of Utah high school football, but the way they keep, say, all three of those teams, Lone Peak, and even American Fork, Lone Peak, Lehigh, Skyridge, AF, they always seem to beat each other in that system.
Poor PG and Westlake.
So it's a hold on Stansbury, back it up to the 40-yard line. Brings up third and very long here for the Stallions. So we saw third and about 35 for Crimson Cliffs. This one will be third and 18 for Stansbury. Need to get to the Crimson Cliffs 42-yard line for a first down.
Now they're in a cover 2. Many NFL announcers will say this should be illegal.
Near side, Rich's got another catch. He's out past the 50. He's close to that yard, that line to gain, maybe about 3 yards shy.
And I don't see a puncher coming out. Let's see.
Maybe we do.
Maybe we do. I lied, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize.
It was a gain of 15 on that one, but it wasn't enough to move the chains for Stansbury, so we'll see Logan Lewis kick this one away.
Can't look my bishop in the eye this week after that comment.
Lewis ready to kick. Oh, almost get into the backfield. And Christiansen, fair catch, singled, and he'll field it at the 16-yard line.
It's always nice when you see the ball above the light posts.
It's a high kick. It's a beautiful night out here in Tooele County, out here at Stansbury Park.
Yeah, it takes a while to get here. Turk Crimson Cliffs, 5.5 hours. And it took me about an hour and 10 minutes.
Those of us that live back in the Salt Lake Valley, thank those of you watching down in southern Utah, and watching out here in Tooele. As Christiansen carrying defenders out near the line to gain.
I feel like Andy's going to be sitting there. Maybe we should give the ball to him a little bit more.
Well, that was a surprising thing. They aired it out almost exclusively on that last drive. After Christiansen, he had the 41-yard rushing touchdown in that first quarter. Picks up 9 at the 25-yard line. Second and 1. He'll get another carry. He's got the first down. And again, just moves that pile forward.
Handoff to number 15, McCord.
Out past the 35.
Man, McCord, I've got a phone call, and he'll answer it every single time. My goodness.
Spotted the 37-yard line, so a gain of 12 for another first down.
Man, he's like Batman out there. Put the pads on. He looks pretty unassuming when he comes into the game. 5'10", 190. You're like, you're a normal kid. Then all of a sudden he's I'm McCord.
In the backfield with Van Daly now on the carry. Number 25 in the program's got another first down. That's another gain of about 13.
These linemen are doing a great job.
On the stop for the Stallions, number 8.
These Mustangs quickly back to the line, 1st and 10 from the 50. Daly gets the carry once more, and this time it's going nowhere. That's number 99 for the Stallions. Isaac Finau with the stop.
You love to see Isaac Finau out there. Big old boy throws up the T for Tonga. He's like, I made a tackle for Tonga right there.
Finau 13 tackles on the season. Brings up 2nd and 11. Daly's in the backfield with Sherritt. 3 wide outs to the near, 1 to the far. Sherritt going to look near side. It's got Holt as he's unable to hold on to it. Almost bordering on the backwards pass there, but it's incomplete.
That's always the scary thing. When the ball's bouncing around on the ground as an offensive coordinator, you're like, no.
Got to get back on it, but it's an incomplete pass. Brings up 3rd and 11 here for Crimson Cliffs. Four wideouts in the formation for Sherritt. Daly stays in the backfield. Need to get to the 40-yard line for a first down. Sherritt to throw. Good protection. Now rolls. Still surveying. Flag flies as he throws over the middle. It's intercepted. Picked off by guess who? Luke Rich gets his first catch on defense. But we'll wait to see what the flag is, but it could be a big turnover for Stansbury.
There's a flag, but it's in the realm of holding. We'll see. Coaches are fired up on the sideline, though. They're saying, let's go, Luke.
It's already got 3 catches on the offensive side.
We'll call that catch number 4.
Face mask on Crimson Cliffs. That'll be denied, and it's an interception for the Stallions. And they'll take over at the 41-yard line. That'll be 2nd interception of the season for Rich. And we stay tied at 7.
Man, Luke Rich is having himself a game. He heard I was coming. He's like, I want to be in contention for player of the week. With plays like that, young man, you are.
3 wideouts to the near. Actually, 4 wideouts as Dearden looking out, rolls out past the 40.
Keeper number 3, Brighton Wrightson.
No gain on that one as Dearden tried to find somebody open on the near side.
Sometimes they're open, sometimes they're not. We didn't see anyone open that time.
Actually gets a yard. They spotted at the 42-yard line, so be 2nd and 8.
Hey, win right there. Way to go. It's always better to have something than nothing.
8:19 to play in our second quarter. They'll hand this one off to Ferry. Zigzags up the middle. Gets about 3 out to the 45.
Ferry was doing good, and then he saw big 45, Keegan Barrow, and he's like, oh no! And he got stopped in his tracks.
So now they're 3rd down here for Stansbury. Need to get out past midfield for the first down. Two wideouts to the far, 1 to the near. Ferry's in the backfield. He'll take the carry, and he runs right into a wall. That was number 34 for the Mustangs. That's McKay Wright. Stopped Ferry right in his tracks.
McKay Wright's one of my favorite players. He's like Stonewall Jackson out there saying, bam, not going anywhere.
Looked like Ferry had a pretty clear lane up the middle, and he was stopped right at the 48. So the Stallions will punt. Lewis back to kick this one off to Chris Jansen.
Oh, special teams miscue right there.
Coming up on 7 minutes to go. As Lewis gets this one away. Good kick. Chris Jansen will field it at his own 15. Breaks a tackle and lowers the shoulder to the 20. And that might almost another late hit out of bounds there.
That was pretty debatable. It's really interesting. This Crimson Cliffs team, they lost a lot from last year. Just over 40 total seniors. I think it was 45 seniors last year.
42 seniors last year graduated from that state championship team.
And just 19 starters. You're like, okay, who's the 2 or 3 lowly guys that didn't leave us? And they're the dudes that have been balling out this year.
So the Mustangs start with their own 24, 1st and 10, handoff. That one to Christiansen and stopped immediately by the Stallions. Max Olson, first one there.
There was a fun team. Still Barbin calling his games. You're like, man, this kid's tough as nails. Named appropriately.
Of course. So coming up on 6.5 minutes to go to halftime here. Clock winding as Mustangs get the call for 2nd and 9. Gave him 1 yard on the carry. Sherrod back to throw. Has time, goes deep. Lots of Stallions out there, and it's another interception going up to get it. Gabe Binkley.
Wow. Gabe, what an interception. The quarterback knew he wanted to go to Malachi, and he sat there, looked at him, and all the defenders converged and said, we know who you're going to as well. He wasn't triple covered, he was quadruple covered. Goodness gracious. Might need to look to a different receiver if he's got 4 on him.
And how about Binkley going up to grab that one? Able to just pick it out of the air for Binkley. That's going to be, I believe that's his 3rd interception of the season. How about this for Stansbury? That's now their 11th interception as a team this season.
That's it? Over 7 games? Come on, Stansbury, step it up.
So Stansbury back to work, 1st and 10 from midfield. They'll hand this one off. And Cephas goes nowhere on that carry.
But then you have to go against Crimson Cliff's defense, and that is Coach Alafipo's specialty, and they know how to get her done.
Keegan Barrow and Nathan Entz there to make the stop there for Crimson Cliffs.
And I love
a defensive battle here.
Yeah, I love when you see a freshman out there, 97, Major Stokes. I was told he was a tight end, and he's like, I can do it all.
2nd and about 9.5 here is Dearden. Dumps it out to Ferry, spin move, but can't go anywhere as he's wrestled down by guess who, Major Stokes, who you just mentioned.
Goodness gracious, he's no longer a major. We're going to call him General Stokes by the time everything's done. I'm just stoked to watch him play. You don't see that from a 14-year-old very often.
Spotted back at the 45, a loss of 5 on that one. Brings up 3rd and 15 here for Stansbury. So we saw electric offenses on the first 2 drives. It's been all defense since.
And I'm okay with that. Defensive battles are fun.
Mustangs show pressure. Dearden stays in the pocket. That one goes into the 2nd row of the stand, or the sideline over here.
Braden Smith and Luke Rich giving each other high fives. They're like, neither one of us was getting that one.
It was a little off target for Rich. So
there's no bad blood between these 2 teams. Once you get a high five from the opposing player, you're like, they're good dudes.
So Lewis on to punt again. This will be his 3rd punt. Crimson Cliffs backs off this time, and a great kick by Lewis, bouncing down out of bounds at the 6-yard line. A great punt, backs up the Mustangs. Got a candidate for Special Teams Player of the Week for you, Moose.
Dude, maybe. He's only had 6 punts tonight. Only 3 of them have counted.
And all 3 of them have been pretty solid.
They've been very good.
So Crimson Cliffs will take over at the 6-yard line. Their worst field position of the game with 4:58 to go to halftime. See if the Mustang offense can get anything going here. Handoff Christiansen, and he's tripped up at the line of scrimmage.
Handoff to number 15.
I believe that was number 48. That'd be Cole Tincher back in the backfield there.
Number 48, Cole Tincher.
Yeah. Both of these defenses, this is what you like to see. Old school. Just defensive battle. You think you're fancy? We'll show you fancy. It's a pick.
Back 2 interceptions on the last 2 drives for Stansbury. 4 wideouts here for Crimson Cliffs on 2nd and 10. They'll hand it off as Christiansen takes his time and gets out past the 10-yard line.
Christiansen's like, can't intercept the ball when I'm running it. Let's go.
Spot the ball at the 11-yard line. So 3rd and 5 here for Crimson Cliffs.
Keep feeding him. He's hungry.
Stack everything up near the line of scrimmage here. Got
Little
the bunch
check
to the
with
right.
me from the top of your screen.
3rd and 5, handoff. Christiansen trying to get to the line. And he'll be just shy of it at the 15. It's Christiansen.
Oh, it's
Gets
close.
4 of the 5 yards, and does Crimson Cliffs want to go for it from their own 15? I think they do.
All right, one more time, fans. Let's go, students.
Wild Wayne down there. Friends with Riverboat Ron Riviera. You're just like, okay, here we go.
So Sheridan, the offense, stay out 4th and 1 from their own 15.
Oh, trying to pull him off.
And we may see the timeout here from Coach Alafipo.
Letting the clock go down, that's the other thing you need to be aware of.
Don't have play clocks out here, so now we get the whistle. And that'll be a timeout for Crimson Cliffs. So the Mustangs try to get them to jump offside. It didn't work.
Good choice right there. If you can get them to jump off, that's awesome, but they bled the clock as well.
So we'll take the timeout as well. 2:52 to halftime. It's tied at 7. Mustangs punting on 4th down here. That's a high kick.
Oh, it's a beaut.
And it'll take a Mustang bounce all the way down near the 30.
Couldn't have asked for a better punt right there.
Braden Smith with the punt there. Normally plays defensive back for the Mustangs.
It was all from the high five from Luke Rich. Anything Luke Rich touches tonight turns to gold.
It's about a 70-yard kick there. From where it was spotted. And that'll put the Stallions at the 32-yard line. That's where they'll start. 2:39 to go to halftime. Both teams with 2 timeouts left. See if the Stallions try to go back to the air here. Try and get some points before the half. Reminder that the Mustangs will get the ball to start the second half as Ferry gets the carry on 1st down and wrestled down by Max Griffiths. First one there.
Of course he was, because Max is like, yeah, I'm the mic. You keep pointing at me. I'm sick of it.
Okay, spot the ball at the 36-yard line, so it still ends up being a gain of 4 for Ferry. 2 wideouts to the far, 1 to the near here on 2nd down. 2:10 and counting a half. As Dearden calls his own number, goes right into the hands
General
of Stokes.
Stokes! Oh my goodness! The General's there to protect and serve. Wow! Goodness gracious! He's a freshman.
The freshman defensive end getting it done for Crimson Cliffs on that one.
I don't get too excited often, but my goodness, General Stokes.
It was there immediately. A loss of 3 brings up 3rd and 9 here for Stansbury. 1:38 and counting a half. Dearden, quick pass near side, batted down at the line. Josh Alvey gets in the way of that one.
Josh is like, I wish I was a little more athletic because it was in my hands and it slipped right through. Wow. What a sack from the General. Gets you car insurance and sacks. Tough kid. I mean, it's been well documented. He's been through the ringer, so has his whole family. But I'm just glad they're finding success down in St. George. What a wonderful family with wonderful people. And it seems like they've got a decent son as well, Major Stokes.
Major Stokes with 26 tackles going into tonight. 3 tackles for loss as well, as Lewis has this one blocked by Stokes. Mustangs trying to fall on it. As that was
General Stokes getting the block, getting it done on defense and special teams, doing a phenomenal job. That kid deserves more offers. He's getting a Crew Jones type awakening as a freshman, and he's going to be a top recruit when everything's said and done. I'm willing to bet he's a 5-star. He's like his dad, just way more athletic, and don't tell him I said that.
So the block punt is settled at the 13-yard line, and that's where the Mustangs take over with 1:19 to play.
My goodness, getting a hug from Dad after that one, I'm sure.
Now we see Sheridan in the offense. And Stallions going to take a timeout here. So we'll take the timeout as well. 1:19 to play to halftime. Crimson Cliffs knocking on the door. Welcome back. 1:19 to play in our second quarter. Crimson Cliffs with 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line after the block punt.
Yeah, Major was just a 1-star general when we started this. He might be a 3-star when everything's said and done. Who knows? He might be a 5-star by the time he's a senior.
Mustangs spread it out on first down. Send Holt in motion. The jet sweep, and it goes nowhere. Wrestle down in the backfield. That's Kason Black with the tackle.
Man, it looks like Landon Wilson coming in there, doing his job, and then some. Whoa!
Landon Wilson, excuse me, with that one. And now timeout is called by Crimson Cliffs on this one. So we'll take the timeout as well after the loss. It'll be 2nd and 16 when we come back. Welcome back, 1:03 to go. Still tied at 7 here late in our second quarter. Matt Coma, Moose Bingham with you. And we've seen defensive play after defensive play recently here.
Yeah, great punts and a blocked punt by the general.
And then you just saw Landon Wilson with a 6-yard tackle for loss there. Spot the ball in the 19 is Sherritt looking for the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Malachi Alafipo.
Great effort there. The ball was just a bit outside.
That brings up 3rd and long here for Crimson Cliffs.
Malachi has suitors from all over the country wanting him, from Hawaii to the east. You're just like, this kid's the truth. And if you can get the ball in his hands, he's amazing. Super fast, great hands, just a good kid as well.
Making the visit to UNLV for the game tomorrow down in Vegas. Zalafipo as Sherritt over the far side, and that is broken up immediately. That was Wilson over there again.
McCord is sitting there, and he's going to have some words with the quarterback. He's like, hey, when someone's got a beat on me and it's coming in like a missile, probably don't throw it at me, you jerk. Gosh.
That was Bronx Baker, actually, excuse me, on the or the pass break up there.
Bronx.
How about that name for a Stallion?
Bronx
Baker.
His
Stansbury
older brother.
Stallion.
Do you know where his older brother's playing this year? The Fighting Illini.
How about that? So 4th down here for Crimson Cliffs. They will elect to go for it here. They need to get down to the 3-yard line for a 1st down.
No one's trusting the kickers tonight, I'll tell you that.
Sherritt back to throw. Lobs to the corner for the end zone. Oh. Did he come down with it?
Oh!
He did! Malachi Alafipo!
Oh! And that's why he's got offers all over. It may have been an offensive PI, but we're not calling that today. He bulldozed the DB all the way to the back of the end zone, and he said, mine, like one of the seagulls from Finding Nemo, just sitting there and getting the ball in his hands. I love to see it, Malachi Alafipo.
How about that? You put that on the rewind top 5 as the Mustangs get the late score. On for the extra point is Calder Pace. It's up and good. And how about that finish to the half? It's 14-7 Crimson Cliffs.
Man, Crimson gets the ball at the start of the second half as well, but these coaches are mad. They're on the field. They're saying, come on. That was an offensive PI if I've ever seen it. The players are holding the coaches back at this point.
So see what Stansbury wants to dial up here. It's still 45 seconds to go to halftime here. They still have one timeout.
Man, I love seeing Coach Lee Leslie fired up. He's like, give me a freaking break.
So 14-7 your score after the touchdown from Malachi Alafipo. That'll be his 6th receiving touchdown of the season. For Sherritt, that'll be passing touchdown number 13 on the season for him. As Pace lets this one go. Ready to field it is Salahuddin. Looking to try and get some magic here for Stansbury as he pushes the pile out to the 30.
Salahuddin, great run. He had about 4 guys on his back. He's a horse, not a stallion. He's a workhorse.
There's a flag down at the 40-yard line. Spot the ball at the 30.
Could be going either way. They're pointing at the spot, but it might be about against Crimson Cliffs, giving this Stansbury team a short field, but we'll see.
Let's see what the call is here. We've seen flags aplenty in this first half.
Absolutely. Not going to make it home for dinner with all these flags. Which I did get a nice corn dog, thanks to the people from the Corn Dog.
Still waiting for the call here.
Where are we going?
It's going to be a personal foul for tripping on Crimson Cliff. So as you mentioned, it'll be great field position here for Stansbury with 37 seconds to go.
Yeah, definitely a call you see a ton, tripping.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen it this season.
Yeah, me too.
So with 37 seconds left and 1 timeout, they have to go 55 yards to try and answer that touchdown. It's Dearden in the offense, back out there. They'll hand it off to Ferry on first down. Bounces it outside and gains about 4 on that one. And the Stallions may be just content to run this one out, maybe get one more play in.
Yeah, looks like it was McKay Wright that got the tackle or was in on it.
2nd and 7 as Dearden will hand it off again to Ferry. Out past midfield and down to the 48, and that should be it. Nope, they'll burn the final timeout here. With 8 seconds left, it'll bring a 3rd down here for Stansbury. And what's been a fun one here so far, Moose. We'll keep it here.
Well, that's why it's the game of the week. We only choose the funnest games. We're not sitting here and we're like, hey, it's a snoozer, let's go check it out. But it's fun. We have friends. I mean, Wayne's a great dude. Little fun story. My wife went out of town for the 4th of July, went to Europe without me.
Oh.
And
sorry.
My neighbor was like, hey, come over for fireworks. And I get there. All the Alafipos are over there. I'm like, Wayne, what's up? He's like, Moose, you're a goober. I'm like, okay. And we just sat and talked football for a long time. Great dude. But both of these coaches, you could sit down and talk football for eons, it seems.
So 8 seconds left here to go.
It's really impressive. This Crimson Cliffs crowd has traveled very well.
A lot of fans over on the far side that have made the trip up from the St. George area. So we'll see one final play here for the Stallions. 3rd and 3 from the 47. Run that triple option play, and Salahuddin's got the first down, stays on his feet, and finally wrestled down with 1 second left. That should do it. I don't think there's enough time to run a play as the horn does go.
Wow.
And that brings us to halftime.
Solid final run. If you were looking at the stats, you'd be like, Stansbury has to be dominating with all the interceptions they've had, but they have yet to capitalize on the phenomenal play that they've done.
So a late score is the difference so far in this one as the Mustangs get on the board thanks to the block punt from Major Stokes and then the highlight reel catch from Malachi Alafipo. And at the half, it's 14-7 in favor of the defending 4A champs, Crimson Cliffs, with the lead on the road. We'll head to the halftime break. We'll bring the second half to you in just a little bit. At the half, it's Crimson Cliffs 14 and Stansbury 7 here on KSL Sports Rewind. All right, football fans, welcome back as we get ready for our third quarter between Crimson Cliffs and Stansbury. The Mustangs with a 14-7 lead over the Stallions. Matt Coma, Moose Bingham with you here on a Friday night out in Tualatin County. And Moose, we've got a good one between these two 4A teams.
A good one. This is a great one. Could be a preview of the semis or even the finals. You never know.
Let's say both these teams would be on the same side of the bracket for that semifinal as it stands right now.
I haven't looked at the bracket lately, but yeah.
Can you believe we're almost to that point, though, Moose? After tonight, we have 3 weeks left of the regular season.
I was telling my wife that the other day. I was like, goodness gracious, this is crazy. The season's almost over. And she's like, I thought it went until almost November. And I was like, oh, yeah, there's playoffs.
There's playoffs.
Okay. So we still have a good 4 more weeks after the season.
So taking a look at the action that we saw in that first half, it was a offensive first couple of drives, a 41-yard rushing touchdown for McCord Christiansen. Put the Mustangs up 7-0 in that first quarter, but on the next drive, a long fourth down conversion put the Stallions inside the 5 for first and goal. And then it was Cephas that put it in from 2 yards out to tie things at 7. And then the defenses showed up to play, Moose.
Yeah, the defenses were like, yeah, this isn't an offensive fire show. We're not throwing fire knives around. This isn't BYU going into the fourth quarter. Let's extinguish that flame. And for the most part, the defense have stepped up huge, and the punters got their way with the ball.
Yep, and we especially in that second quarter, 2 interceptions for the Stansbury defense that stopped Crimson Cliffs in that second frame. But the big one was the block punt from Major Stokes right at the end of the half that led to the touchdown pass to Alafipo, and that's where we stand at 14-7.
Yeah, General Stokes, he's everything I'd hoped for. I was like, all right, let's see if this freshman's worth the hype. And a lot of the time, they're not. You're just like, oh, this kid is not good at football. And a Major Stokes does not have that problem. Like I said, a much more athletic Andy Stokes. Thank his mother for making him so athletic.
So that's where we stand as we get ready for the second half. Crimson Cliffs will get the ball to start as they defer the coin toss to the second half. So we'll see the Mustangs on offense first. They move left to right this third quarter in the red and white uniforms. Stansbury's in the blue and black uniforms, moving right to left.
And you won't see 3 returners from Crimson Cliffs, just the 2, the lonely 2 back there, unlike Stansbury.
Just the 2 back there is we see Ethan Clegg ready to tee this one up and get our second half underway. Looks like we've got Jackson Holt, and I believe that is Boston Barrow back to receive this one for Crimson Cliffs.
Stansbury has the wind to open it up, so hopefully this ball gets guided right into the end zone like we're used to.
And second half underway. Clegg's kick's going to be short, fielded by Holt at the 11-yard line. And met by the Stallions out past the 20.
Holt said, blockers be darned. I'm going right into the teeth of the return of the kickoff team. What an interesting choice right there.
Spot at the 26-yard line, so gain of 15 on the return. And that's where we'll see Crimson Cliffs for the first time in the second half.
I've never seen the choice where it's like, yeah, I'm just going right into the defenders. Let's go. Get north and south.
Ryder Sheridan the offense back out. Alafipo in motion. Now looks at far side. It's tipped. And was it still caught? The one of the linemen came up with it. That's Madden Smith that comes up with the catch off the batted pass.
Madden Smith has waited his whole life. All 300 or 240 pounds of him. He's like, the ball, finally. Coach, this is what I've been telling you. I've got the hands. Take Malachi out of here and put me at Z.
Give the big man a reception and 2 yards on that one. This brings up, or 5 yards, excuse me, on that one. As Christiansen falls down to the line of scrimmage.
Turf Monster got Christiansen right there. So sitting there, he's like, gosh dang it, can't believe he got me again.
So
actually, a pretty pivotal 5-yard gain by the lineman.
Yeah. Brings up 3rd and 5 here for Crimson Cliffs. 4 wideouts in the formation for Sherritt. Got Christiansen in the backfield. Sherritt pressures, comes up the middle, dumps over the middle for Christiansen, and he's right at the line to gain. And it's enough for a first down.
Wow. Just enough right there. And that keeps the series alive.
Gain of 6, picks up the first down for Crimson Cliffs. Send Alafipo in motion as Sherritt looks that way. This is Maddox Alafipo, and he's brought down to the backfield. And that's Bronx Baker in the backfield for the Stallions.
Bronx doing a great job, just like his older brother. But both of these Alafipos are really good. Maddox coming out as they were younger. Maddox was actually the more athletic one, little do you know. He's had some health problems, gotten through them, but what a stud of a human being.
Loss of 3 on that one. 2nd and 13 over the far side. It's intercepted.
Right into the loving hands of Vicky Talia, 6'3", 210-pound senior.
Oh, no, they're going to wave it off. It's they're saying incomplete. I thought that was in. The official on the far side was saying it was in.
Great defense, number 8.
But nonetheless, it's a pass breakup, but almost the interception for Talia.
Wow, we got to get the replay camera in there because he's like, I ran the route better than the receiver. Come on, ref.
So incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 13 now. And flags fly. I believe a false start. And that is the call on Crimson Cliff. So back it up 5 more yards and another 3rd and long here. It's been a common theme between these two teams tonight. We've seen 3rds and very longs tonight.
Hey, it's not as long as 500 miles, but we're getting close to that.
Spot the ball back at the 26-yard line now. They need to get out to the 44 for a first down. Sherritt throws over the middle, in and out of the hands of Alafipo.
Number 4.
Just a little behind him right there. Great effort, pretty good pass, great blocking. Just didn't quite come together.
So the punting unit comes out for Crimson Cliffs.
Pretty fortuitous that it's a punt right now, too.
I said it looked like it was going to be an interception near the 40, but officials wave it off. And so now, Braden Smith will punt this one away. Got Xavier Patch and Luke Rich back to field. As Stallions almost get to it, high kick. Gonna bounce at the 40, takes a Mustang bounce and settles around the 32-yard line. That's where Stansbury will take over.
These punchers have been absolutely phenomenal. That's what we came to see. Great punting, right?
I think that's what you came to see, Moose.
Of course that's what I came to see.
So we'll spot the ball at the 42-yard line. I think that's the best. It is the best field position for the Stallions tonight.
By just a few yards, honestly, but it's still good.
9:38 to play in our 3rd quarter. See how the Stallions respond. Down 1 score here. They'll hand off to Ferry. Gets through the first level. And again, runs into a brick wall there.
Ferry's got a nice little burst right there getting down the field. He's not going slow like a ferry down the Mississippi. He's like a jet ski out there. Zoom, zoom.
Picks up 7 on that one and before he was met by the wall of McKay Wright. It seems to be his kryptonite tonight. He gets through that first level, but as soon as he meets Wright, goes nowhere. As Ferry trying to weave his way through, he's got the first down on that one.
Number 2, Tyson Ferry. On the stop, number 33.
Stallions out past midfield now.
I really like the combination of the inside backers here of 34 McKay Wright, 33 Max Griffiths. Both seniors, both a little different. McKay Wright kind of reminds me of like, what's his face? The kid at Stanford now. Bo, played at corner last year. Gosh dang it. I'll remember it.
1st and 10 while Moose recollects his thoughts. It's again a Ferry carry. That one goes nowhere. You mentioned number 34 for the Mustangs. That's McKay Wright. comes up with the tackle for loss of 1.
Bo Tate is his name. My
There
goodness
you go.
gracious. I'm sorry, Bo and Steve and all the other Tates. Your name escaped me for a second. But that's really who McKay Wright reminds me of. He's a Bo Tate type player.
McKay Wright on the season, 68 tackles. Leads the team in tackles. He's got 5 tackles for loss and a sack going into tonight. As Dearden to throw on 2nd and long. Pressure comes, gets out of the first threat, and a little razzle-dazzle out to the 40 for a gain of about 7.
Little shake and bake right there. Wow. When you're out here in the country, you got to shake it and then bake it.
Gain of 8 on that shake and bake, and it brings up 3rd and 3. 7:35 and counting in our third quarter. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the near. They'll hand this one off. First carry for Carter Peterson's got a first down and more as the Stallions on the move inside the 30.
24, Carter Peterson.
Gain of 10 on that one for the Stansbury Stallions.
Man, Stansbury's finding some life this second half. This defense, it was stopping everything. Now it's just kind of getting ran through.
New set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 30 is the Stallions on the move here. Hand it back, fake handoff on the read option. Dearden's got space up the near side and out past the 20 for another first down.
I really like Dearden with his dual threat capabilities.
Number 33,
Dearden, one of the leading rushers on this team, as we have an injured Mustang down here on the near side.
on the stop, number 16.
It's number 16 for the Mustangs. That is Tyler Gibb. That's down here on the near side. So we'll step aside as they take a look at the injured Mustang with 6:53 to play here in our third quarter. Crimson Cliffs with a 7-point lead. Welcome back is Tyler Gibb able to get back up, being escorted back to the Crimson Cliffs bench. Unable to put any weight on, looks like the right foot or right leg for Gibb. Hopefully we'll see him back out on the field shortly. So first and 10 here for the Stallions from the 20-yard line. Dearden gonna go for the end zone, in and out of the hands. And that was Rutzel actually back at quarterback in for that play, intended for Logan Lewis there on the near side.
I love seeing 24 coming in there and just slinging it around. It's just like, let's go.
He had the long fourth down conversion he had the long play to Rich in that first quarter.
And I feel really bad. I've been saying Alofipo wrong all night. Alofipo.
Alofipo. Apologies to the whole Alofipo family, as Rutzel going to call his own number, and he's met by 5 Mustangs on that one.
Yeah, he was sitting there and he's like, oh no, better to go down and live another day.
Takes the loss back to the 21-yard line. So it brings up 3rd and 11 here. Is Reitzel back in, still in there for at quarterback. Now Dearden comes back in.
Yeah, sometimes Dearden just needs a little breather. He's been through the ringer.
Had that read option that picked him up a first down on the last couple of plays. So 4 wideouts here for the Stallions. Mustangs show pressure, 3rd and 12. Good pocket, Dearden tries to get out of it, and he's still able to stay up, but a quick whistle blows the play dead.
And I think we're going to give that to Hagen Christiansen, but that was a questionable whistle, it
seemed like he got out of it, and the whistle blew right as he got out of it. So it's a sack and a loss of about 5 on that one.
But I think they're in no man's zone where they're not quite comfortable to kick a field goal. Never going to punt it from here. So the only other option is go for it.
And I say they need to get to the 11-yard line for a first down.
And they've done it before tonight.
4th and 17 here for Stansbury. And they're going to talk about it here. So timeout Stallions. And we'll take the timeout as well. 5:05 to play in our third quarter. 14-7 here on KSL Sports Rewind. Welcome back. 5:05 to play here in our third quarter. 14-7 Crimson Cliffs. But Stansbury with a 4th and long here.
Big decision time. You don't know, you could do a pop punt as well. That could be in the realm. But I like to see number 4 out there. He's clever with what he does. We're going to see what we can do.
That's Coleman Dearden leading the offense out for Stansbury. 3 wideouts with Ferry in the backfield. And they're going to go for it on 4th and long. Dearden looks for the end zone. Caught! Oh! Touchdown Stallions!
Wow!
Lincoln Reitzel!
Lincoln Reitzel, what's your name? Say it 3 times because my goodness gracious. Lincoln getting it done. He could be the next president with catches like that. Wow. You see it on 4th down and it's happened twice. Crimson Cliffs got the 3 and out and Stansbury said, we're not down and out yet. Reflecting the first quarter once again. Getting touchdowns. Wow. What a phenomenal job, phenomenal play call, and great job by Lincoln Reitzel.
Clegg on for the extra point to try and tie our game here. Clegg's kick is up. And it's good. And so that will be the second touchdown of the season for Lincoln Reitzel. And that ties our game at 14 halfway through the third.
I really can't believe that they've gotten those 2 4th down conversions.
Yes, on 4th and 17, Moose.
Yeah, usually you kind of throw that up. I was going to say they could punt it with a quarterback quick punt. Not today, says Lee Leslie. He says, I've been doing this for 40 years, Moose. You don't think I've got a trick or two up my sleeve? Watch.
So they gamble on 4th down, and it pays off for Stansbury.
Man, and the crazy thing is, Crimson was in a prevent. Only rushing 3, dropping 8.
And Dearden still able to find a seam in that protection for Crimson Cliffs.
Absolute crazy turn of events, and we've got ourselves a game now.
14 all, 4:58 to play here. We knew it would be a good battle. Both these teams undefeated in region play for their respective regions. They will still be undefeated in region play after tonight, regardless of what happens.
But this is what you want. You want a game against one of the top opponents so you can get ready for playoffs and not just region play where you're familiar with the foe.
Line drive kick from Clegg's going to be fielded by Holt at the 5. Tries to break it up the near side, and he's out past the 25, and that's where the Mustangs will take over.
Great job right there. Man, I still can't get over 2 4th down conversions. You never see that in high school.
Well, 2 4th and long conversions as well.
If it was like a 4th and 2, I'd be like, cool, kudos to you. 4th and like 20, you're like, my goodness gracious.
And then a 4th and 17 on that touchdown pass. So now the Mustangs have to respond. 4 wideouts in the formation for Sherritt. Hands off to Christiansen, who gets 3 yards. He had that 41-yard scamper in the first quarter. Other than that, it's been kind of held in check for this Mustang offense.
Yeah, and this Mustang offense, they've got some big boys up front. I mean, we're talking about, you've got a 6'6", 314 junior in Gavin Ipsum.
2nd and 6 here for the Mustangs. Send Holt in motion. Handoff Christiansen, spun down near the 35. It'd be a yard shy of the line of game.
He got thrown down, but he got thrown forward as well.
We've seen that a lot this season, with some tackles. The wrestle forward. So 3rd and 1 here for Crimson Cliffs. They spread it out with 4 wideouts again. Alofipo was in motion. They hand it off to Christiansen, who's got the first down.
Handoff to number 15.
You just needed the yard, and one of the most consistent things you can find tonight is a yard from Christiansen. McCord just playing out of his mind. Great job tonight.
Touchdown Mustang.
So a new set of downs here for Crimson Cliffs. 3:41 to go in our third quarter. Tied at 14. Trips to the left for Ryder Sherritt. Give it right back to Chris Jansen. Tries to bounce it outside before he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, this Stansbury defense, they're like, we know you're good. We talked about you at halftime, the whole halftime 15. We're trying to get them to beat us through the air because the passing attack hasn't been crazy successful for Crimson Cliffs tonight.
It's Max Olson on the tackle. 2nd and 9. Pass near side. Too high for Lofipo.
So proud of us for getting that name right. We had
my apologies to the family. I've heard 3 different pronunciations of the Lofipo's family this weekend.
We had family come in and said, hey, it's Alofipo. Like a loaf?
A loaf? Epo.
And I'm like, oh, my bad. And I feel bad because I said it right to Wayne's face. I'm like, Alofipo. He's like, a loaf Epo.
3rd and 9 here for the Mustangs. Sherritt will get the call from offensive coordinator Stokes.
Stallions, get out. Let's go.
Big and timeout's going to be called by the Mustangs, so they'll talk about this 3rd down as we get closer to the end of our third quarter. 3:08 to play. We're tied at 14 here on KSL Sports Rerun. We'll be right back. Welcome back. 3:08 to go in our third quarter. Tied at 14 here from Stansbury High. Battle of 4 and 2 teams here on KSL Sports Rewind. Glad you guys can spend your Friday night with us. Matt Coleman, Moose Bingham with you here tonight.
Absolutely no better place to be. Tied game, third quarter. Let's go.
Defensive battle. We've seen highlights on both sides of the ball for both teams tonight.
Let's go. Get behind that defense. Let them hear you.
So 3rd and 8 here for the Mustangs. And Sherritt looks near side. Pressure's coming. Down he goes. In there first is Landon Wilson, and a big stop for the Stallions.
Fantastic job by the Stallions. They sent one more number than they could block, and all of a sudden the quarterback goes down if he can't find the mismatch. That's your job as a quarterback. Process information quickly, get the ball out even quicker.
So the punt unit comes on for the Mustangs. Back is Luke Rich and Xavier Patch back for the Stallions. Braden Smith will handle the kicking duties one more time. First sack for either team tonight, by the way. As that one will bounce at the 31, take a Mustang bounce inside the 25. We've seen tackles for loss, but we have not seen a sack yet.
Didn't General Stokes get a sack?
It was a read option, so technically does not count as a sack.
I'm counting it as a sack. I was like, I swear I saw a sack earlier. Whoever's doing the stats, put that down as a sack. I'm counting it.
Oh, wow. We'll see who's doing stats. I'm not doing official stats up here, but I try to do the best I can up here.
Matt does a phenomenal job. Little do you guys know, I get here every week. He's got every stat under the sun, and I just show up with minutes to spare. He's like, you're such a waste, Moose.
I just try to make sure you're well informed, Moose. That's all.
Oh, I appreciate it. Without you, I'd be a chicken with its head off.
So the Stallions start at their own 24-yard line, 1st and 10, 2:17 to go. And we got flags flying. Delay a game on Stansbury.
So it's interesting. Most schools we go to nowadays have a clock in kind of by the field goal posts. This game, you have to look at the ref, and once he starts throwing his arm up, if he does it 5 times, you're out of time.
So clock stops with 2:17 to go. It'll be 1st and 15 now, back at the 20 or the 18-yard line, excuse me. As Moose mentioned, it's been a fun one so far. A lot of exciting plays for both these teams.
Absolutely.
Defenses have shown up in spades tonight. So 1st and 15, 3 wideouts in the formation for the Stallions as they fake the handoff to Ferry. Goes over the middle, good touch pass. Over the middle for a 1st down, and that making the catch is Noah Seifus, who had the rushing touchdown earlier.
That was a beautiful pass. It couldn't have gone anywhere else except for into the hands of the receiver, and that's where you make your money as a quarterback. quick decisions, great passes. Love to see it.
Gain of 17 on that one brings a new set of downs for the Stallions. 3 wideouts this time as Ferry takes the carry and is met by Stokes and goes nowhere. No gain on that one, maybe a gain of 1 on that one. Spot the ball at the 36 as Major Stokes gets another stop at the line.
I would call it a sack, but that was just a stop.
It was a gain of 1, too. So.
No TFL for you tonight, General.
2nd and 9 here for Stansbury. 1:20 to go in our third quarter. 4 wideouts this time as Dearden throws near side's got his man. It's Lewis who's got a first down and more out to the 45.
Man, great job right there by Lewis getting open. And I love how you have your quarterback rolling to the field side, finding his receiver on a 10-yard dig pattern.
Able to pick up 19 after the catch there for Logan Lewis. Hand off to Ferry on first down. This one breaks a tackle and spun down near the 30 for a gain of 14.
Man, this Stansbury offense, they're galloping. They're getting going, and you're seeing a reason why they were able to beat Park City last year. Nay, indeed.
Park City was undefeated going into last week. The Stallions able to beat them here at home. 1st and 10 from the 34. Again, Ferry with the carry, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Should have been a TFL. Ferry did a great job stepping out of the way of a linebacker flying in. But Stansbury also knows you have a new corner here on the field side, and that playing field corner, meaning that the corner is on the wide side of the field, is a difficult proposition. And so they may be trying to take advantage of that inexperience.
That was Josh Alvey on the stop for the Mustangs, and that's the final play of a fast-moving third quarter. The Stallions find the end zone on a 4th and long to tie the game up, and we're tied as we head to the 4th at Stansbury 14 and Crimson Cliffs 14 here on KSL Sports Rewind. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Getting ready for our 4th quarter. Tied at 14 here at Stansbury High, the Mustangs and the Stallions. Matt Coma, Moose Bingham with you tonight. And Moose, everything to play for here in the final 12 minutes. This has been a fun one.
Yeah, this is why it's the game of the week. We knew it'd be a tough, grinded-out battle. Great defense, phenomenal offense. And now you're seeing the result of that. Just a fantastic game. I'm so excited to watch the rest of this adventure with you, Matt.
So we start with 2nd and 10 from the 34 for Stansbury. Pass far side connects with Rich and wrestled down near the 30. They'll spot him at the 29. Gain of 5 on that one. Brings up a 3rd and 5. And Stansbury has been no stranger to going for it on 4th down.
No, this is definitely 2-down territory. This is where they like to be, hanging out between the 20 and the 40, where it's no man's land, especially into the wind.
So 3rd and 5 here for the Stallions. Need to get past the 25-yard line for a first down. Dearden hands off to Ferry, and he's ripped down right at the line. Number 50 for the Mustangs, that's Kason Cuff with the stop.
Now it's decision time. You're not sitting there with 20 yards to go. You've only got 4, it looks like, from here, maybe 5. And this is where you got to make a decision. And this is where Crimson Cliffs really has to step up if they want to win this game, because they've got to get a stop on 4th down. They're 0 for 2, where Stansbury is 2 for 2, and it's made all the difference in the game.
They've led to big plays for Stansbury tonight. 2 for 2 on 4th down, as Moose mentioned. Going for it here on 4th and 4. Dearden, quick pass near sides, got his man as Lewis breaks a tackle that Cyphus into the end zone. Touchdown, Stansbury.
4th down is the money down for Stansbury. They've been 3 for 3, 2 touchdowns and a huge play. Stansbury's like, let's call every down fourth and we'll get her done.
That's Noah Seifus with the touchdown. He's got a rushing one, and now he's got a receiving touchdown.
Absolute huge play for Stansbury.
As fourth down has been the key for Stansbury tonight. They're 3 for 3 on third down.
I had never seen a team go 2 for 2 on fourth. Now we're 3 for 3. But it looks like there's a conversation going on around with Wayne Alofipo.
There's a flag back at the 27-yard line, but it's right by the coaching staff for Crimson Cliffs. And the officials are chatting with head coach Alofipo. Want an explanation on that one? So we're waiting to see what comes out of that. Looks like everything's okay. So a 28-yard touchdown to Noah Seifus has the Stallions ahead for the first time tonight. Ethan Clegg on for the extra point. And almost getting back there was Braden Smith, but it's up and good. And the Stallions have a 7-point lead with 10:21 to play here.
It's been a tale of two halves. First half, Stallions couldn't get going. They got a touchdown in the first quarter and then shut the offense down for the rest of the time. This half, they've scored 14 points, 1 touchdown in the third and 1 in the fourth. And so they're rolling. Let's see if Crimson Cliffs can get back on their horse and get galloping.
I see what you did there.
I was pretty proud of it, too.
I liked it. It's a battle of horses. Can't go wrong with that.
I was looking at the college football. Someone was making conferences based off of animals and cats and all sorts of things.
I did see the cat conference. I did see that one.
I was laughing about that. I'm like, can we do that for Utah high school football? We have the horse conference with the Cottonwood Colts and the Stansbury
Stallions,
the Corner Canyon Chargers,
the
Crimson Cliffs,
Mustangs, Harriman Mustangs.
That's actually a pretty good conference.
Yeah.
Let's petition to make that one.
Be a lot of travel in that one, though.
Never enough travel.
As Clegg lets this one go, this will be fielded by Holt at the 10-yard line. And again, good return out near the 35. And so the Mustangs will start first and 10 from the 35, now looking to answer as they trail for the first time tonight.
Yeah, now the pressure's on. Going into this half, they got the ball. They were up by 7. Life was good, but life comes at you fast.
Only 2 drives so far this half for Crimson Cliffs. Both of them have been punts.
And the one thing you don't want to do is lose when you're 5 hours away from home.
Handoff to Chris Jansen's faked as Sherritt's got it on the far side. Good option to keep it.
Oh, man. Landon Wilson was back in there, and he was so excited. He's like, tackle for a loss.
I think everybody thought that it was down in the backfield, but Sherritt held on to that one, and it's down to the 40. He gets 6 on first down.
Great pull by the quarterback.
This time he'll give it to Chris Jansen. It's got space up the far side, and he's near a first down. And a flag flies there late. It might be a horse collar tackle, my guess, or a face mask.
North side.
Maybe a late hit.
Student section, medical staff. North side, student section, halfway up, please.
So officials are talking about it over and right in front of the Mustang coaching staff there, as Chris Jansen kind of went down a little awkwardly.
Yeah.
Here's the call. A personal foul is a horse collar on Stansbury.
Oh.
So tack 15 yards onto the end of the run, and now the Crimson Cliffs into Stansbury territory.
Yeah, first time this half, I believe.
You are correct.
Oh, blind squirrel finding a nut over here.
best field position was the 34-yard line so far for Crimson Cliffs this half.
They've just got to cross one line to get this game going, and that's the end zone.
Oh, they got 41 yards to get there. It's 1st and 10. Sherritt keeps it again on the read option. Looked a little undecided about where to go on it. He's wrestled down. Number 18 for the Stallions. That's Gabe Binkley, who had the interception in the first half.
Honestly, Sherritt, his 2 pulls are phenomenal choices in this half, taking tackle for losses and turning them into positive gains.
Gain of 2 on that, or excuse me, call it a gain of 3. 2nd and 7. Sherritt to throw. Near side looking for Barrow. That one's incomplete. 3rd down upcoming. Big play here for the Mustang offense, trying to answer the Stansbury touchdown. 9:27 to play in our game tonight.
With this clock going down, this might be 2-down territory.
Of course, the Mustangs not shy to go for it on 4th down. 2 is that one just threading the needle and finding Alofipo.
Are we calling that a catch?
I think that's a catch.
Oh, pick the right person in the zone defense right there. He's like, you know what? If I ever got a problem, Malachi will get it done.
Gain of 15 on that one. Just gets it over the zone coverage for a 1st down. Spotted at the 24-yard line. Man in motion. Sherritt gives it off to Christiansen, who's met immediately. That's Landis Roberts, first one there.
Look to get a yard or so. But Malachi is everything that you want and then some. Alofipo just getting it done.
Say, mentioned he's got a couple of offers
Hawaii.
to D1 schools. Hawaii, UNLV, another one.
Yep. And then the hometown, Utah Tech, is saying, please, we'll do anything. We'll find NIL deals for you.
2nd and 9 here for the Mustangs. It's Christiansen up the middle, and he's near a 1st down. Spot him at the 16, maybe 17-yard line. Still about 2 yards shy.
That's the new little wrinkle with college. It used to be, hey, every scholarship's the same. Now it's like, hey, show me the money.
Well, we've seen that with the youth situation down in UNLV this past week.
Where, unfortunately, they didn't show them the money. They just needed to go and put some money on red or black. Your choice.
Handoff, 3rd down. Christiansen's got a seam as he's down inside the 10, and a flag flies at the end. And a little bit of pushing and shoving now.
Oh.
As that was Connor Tucker, the offensive lineman there.
And he got pulled away real quick. It looks like it was Christiansen. He's like, all right, get over here, big boy. Let's not get anything worse than what's going on.
Down to the 4. The flag came after the play, so we'll see what the call is here. It's a personal foul, face mask on Stansbury, so won't do much as far as yardage here.
It's a couple.
Spotted about the 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal, Crimson Cliffs.
Just high IQ play by Christiansen right there, pulling his lineman off, being like, we don't need a retaliation. That was a great run by me. I don't need to replay that down.
So 1st and goal for the Mustangs, trying to answer the Stansbury touchdown. Handoff. Christiansen has a seam. It's got a touchdown, but there is a flag at the goal line.
Flags on the field.
And this might be coming back.
I'm willing to bet it is. Refs are talking about it, but that was in the realm of holding area.
Waiting for the official call, and it is a hold on the Mustangs. Back them up 10 yards.
That's a big penalty right there.
Puts it back at the 12-yard line for 1st and goal.
The statistician was already putting the numbers on, but now you've got 4 downs to get into the end zone. All the way from the 11, 12?
Be the 12-yard line there. So then he got 12 yards to go. 1st and goal here for Crimson Cliffs. 7:46 to go in our game.
Doesn't take running the ball out of the equation, though.
Sherritt going to look to roll out near side, fires for the end zone and broke it up. Good defensive play. That by Parker Cashmore.
Wow, fantastic job by Parker Cashmore. Getting that long arm in there, and he said, no, 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 not today. Wow.
So pass breakup brings up 2nd and goal now.
Because you had Boston Burrow sitting there, and he's like, touchdown, baby. And then Cash was like, no, sorry.
Able to get the pass breakup. Now 2nd and goal here for the Mustangs. Trips to the near side. They'll hand it off. Chris Jansen gets about half of it there out to the 6.
Number 15, on the stop.
And a big play upcoming here for Crimson Cliffs.
And at this point, with under 8 minutes, you're sitting there and you're like, yeah, this is 4-down territory.
Mentioned in that first quarter, as much of the stats as I could find, neither of these teams has attempted a field goal. Not made a field goal, has attempted a field goal.
Honestly, hurt my heart
3rd and goal from the 6.
to read that stat.
Sherritt looks far side's got his man. Holt trying to get to the end. He's escorted out at about the 2, and it'll be 4th down.
Man, that's really close, and this is most likely the game right here. What do you call?
4th and goal from the 2-yard line here for Crimson Cliffs.
Look for number 15.
He's in the backfield. Gets the carry. Piles moving.
What?
Did he get it though? Referee on the near side says no. And the other referee agrees. The Stallions hold.
Phenomenal effort. He got 1 yard and 7/8.
He is right at the line to gain, and it's a turnover on downs.
Whoa. Great stand right there. And that hold came into play and then some.
So the drive ends at the 1 foot line. I would even, maybe the 1 inch line. It is right up against the line there. But credit the Stallion defense, one of the top defenses in the state of Utah. Comes up with a big stop to keep their 7-point lead.
If they were measuring, they'd have to get a credit card out there, and that's about the size of what we're looking at.
So 6:47 to play here. Still a ton of time, and Stansbury has to get out of their own end zone as Ferry does a good job to get out to the 5.
That's a great job by Ferry.
Tyson Ferry on the stop, number 35.
Get to make it the 6 for a gain of 5. How about the Stansbury defense? We talked about how potent the Crimson Cliffs offense was coming into this game, but Stansbury's been stout on the defensive side tonight.
And honestly, they've improved a ton from last year. Last year, I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going back up to Stansbury. Whoa!
And in the backfield for the Mustangs, that's Nathan Entz.
Whoa.
The Stansbury coaches did not like that, as we heard upstairs.
There was a thump, thumperoo. It wasn't Santa coming and knocking. It was a Stansbury coach not happy.
Spot the ball all the way back at the 3-yard line, and we're going to get a timeout called by Stansbury here. So we'll step aside, take the timeout as well. 5:56 to go, 3rd and long upcoming here for Stansbury. Welcome back, 5:56 to play here in our game tonight. 21-14 in favor of the Stallions, but a big 3rd down upcoming here for Stansbury, deep in their own end.
Luckily that play wasn't called the down before, because that would have been a safety. There would have been prayers heading up to heaven real quick.
So the Stallions are at their own 3-yard line. They need to get out to past the 11-yard line for the 1st down. Holding on to that 7-point lead here. So we're under 6 minutes to go.
3 and out, and punting from here is a terrible thought as a special teams guy.
See what the play call is as Ferry goes in motion. Pressure's coming. As a hold is going to be called in the end zone. Dearden gets the first down yardage, but this one's going to be coming back.
So I got a question for you. Hold in the end zone, is that a safety?
I'm not sure. We're going to see what the call is here. And it is a safety.
Oh, prayers to heaven!
It's a safety for the Mustangs. It's the hold in the end zone.
That's a huge hold. We've seen two of the biggest holds of the night. And that prayer to heaven is answered for Crimson Cliffs. 2 points and the ball back.
That's it. That's the big thing. Yes, it's the 2 points for Crimson Cliffs, but it also gives them the ball back with 5:48 to go. And now it's only a 5-point game.
That gives you the 2 possessions you need, and you can go for 2 and make it 24. That's what they'll most likely do, which makes it a 3-point game if they can score and get a 2-point. I know I'm a little bit ahead of myself, but I'm a coach. I'm thinking, okay, what points add up to 3 so we can get a field goal?
And this game is turned on its head now. With 5:48 to go, the Stansbury crowd is stunned at the moment.
You can hear a pin drop in this stadium.
So it's a safety on the Stallions for the holding call in the end zone.
And now you get a choice if you want to punt or do a kickoff. Also interesting.
They're going to kick this one back at the 25-yard line.
Yep.
So let's see what they elect to do here. I have to relent to you on this one. You're the special teams guy.
It looks like they're punting, which isn't a bad choice. This was always nice as a punter. You're like, oh my gosh, no one's rushing me, and I get to get this nice punt.
So it'll be Logan Lewis to punt here from his own 20.
Probably the right choice with what you've got going on. But very returnable situation as well. Special teams making a huge difference.
That one's high in the air, and we have whistles right off the bat.
Flag?
A flag on the play.
Oh,
it's
time delay.
So not only do you have to punt it, now you got to punt it from your own 15-yard line.
Oh, hey, good throw.
Excellent throw. So we'll redo this again from the 15-yard line.
I thought he was calling it on Crimson Cliffs for a second. And I was like, man, that is a crazy. I don't know what the penalty would be, but this is massive. So what he did on that last punt, he went too high. He's got to drive this ball at this point and try to get some confusion hitting it between the two returners.
Back to field this one is Kaysen Black and Jackson Holt for Crimson Cliffs. As Lewis will let this one go from his own 15 now. Another high kick will be fielded near side at the 39-yard line. And out past midfield goes Black, and that's where the Mustangs will take over, now only down by 5 after the safety.
You always wonder why I say prayers when you see the safety, because you get 2 points on the board, you get the ball back, and usually you're already in great field position. And that's a prayer that's been answered. Hail Mary, no, safety in numbers.
So the Mustangs down by 5, 5:41 to go, gets the ball at the 49-yard line of Stansbury, 1st and 10. Trips to the right side as Sherritt loses the ball on the read and wisely falls on it back at his 45. Loss of 4 on that one as Sherritt waited to the very last second to try and pull that one away from Christiansen.
Oof. Now you're going the wrong way. They were on the other side of the 50. Now they're not.
Back at the 45 now, 2nd and 16 here for Crimson Cliffs. Trying to go for the go-ahead score. Sherritt, far sides, got his man right at the original line of scrimmages. Alofipo.
Alofipo has really impressed me. He's one of the reasons I was here tonight, to be honest with you. I'm like, if I'm going to call a game, I want to see future college stars. There's one right there in Malachi.
He's ranked as the 17th best prospect in the state of Utah at the current moment as Sherritt Looks over the deep shot. He's got Olofipo. We just talked about him. He's got the touchdown.
Oh, yell it out, young man. You deserve that. Big step in. Wow. There was no one that was going to stop him. When you're in key moments, you give the ball to your key player, and Malachi is just that, the 6 foot, 180-pound senior. Give him his props because he's going to need another 4 guys on him again, what this Stansbury team is thinking. Wow.
Second receiving touchdown tonight for Olofipo. And it's a 1-point game for Crimson Cliffs now.
Crimson Cliffs did the right thing calling timeout. They're like, wait, we were listening to Moose earlier. We can make this a 3-point game. We're already ahead. And if you make it a 3-point game, it's a tie if Stansbury kicks a field goal. If you make it a 2-point game, it's a loss. But I don't imagine many field goals getting kicked tonight.
Like I say, we haven't seen one so far. We've seen extra points.
My little special teams heart is a little distraught knowing that fact, but we'll get over it.
So big decision here for Crimson Cliffs. The Moose mentioned the 2-point conversion would put them up by 3. With 4:46 to play, how about a big touchdown? 50 yards on that one to Olofipo.
Yeah, what was it, 55? Because they were on the other side of the field?
It was 55, yes, back at the 45-yard line.
Man.
No, it was the other play, so it wasn't the 50-yard line. So
okay, sorry. Trying to confuse you, ladies and gentlemen.
It was a 50-yard touchdown pass for Olofipo. That's touchdown number 7 on the season. And the Mustangs will go for it for the 2-point conversion here. They spread it out, 4 wideouts.
Coach Stokes is sitting there. He's like, okay, I see what I want. Let's get Trips going.
Hold to the right side. Trips now there. Share it. Waits, throws over the middle, and it's caught. And the 2-point conversion is good, and guess who it is again? It's Olofipo.
Malachi, you're going to have more schools offering you if you're not careful. UNLV might not be the only school trying to get that LOI when everything's said and done.
So the 2-point conversion is good, and it's 24-21 now in favor of the Mustangs with 4:46 to play.
Man, I have been so impressed by Malachi Olofipo. Olofipo.
What a fun game tonight. This has been a fun one here.
You see, if you play well, I'll learn your name. For all you people complaining, have your kid play better. And if you have any complaints, as always, reach out to me at Moose Bingham on Venmo. Got to get that McDonald's money on my way home.
Calder pays to kick this one off. This one's going to be
in the end zone.
Go to the end zone. Our first touchback tonight.
Hey, the kicking game is alive and well.
So the Stallions will start
on the
20-yard line, 1st and 10, and now an answer is needed for the Stallions. They had all the momentum there in the 3rd quarter and the beginning of this 4th quarter.
Man.
Now they need an answer. They do only need 3 points to tie. But the way we've been talking about the kicking discussions, we would think it's going to be an end zone or bust here for the Stallions.
Well, they've been so effective on 4th down, too. So, got to stop them 4 tries in a row if you're Crimson Cliffs.
Hand off to Ferry on 1st down. Looks for the corners. Got it. Gets 5 yards and lowers the shoulder for extra 2.
Fantastic burst by Ferry right there. A bunch of these Stallions were taking angles and didn't quite get there.
Gain of 7 on that one for Ferry. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Not only that, he ran out of bounds and stopped the clock. Great job.
So 2nd and 3 here for Stansbury.
Here's the other trick. You don't want to score too fast and leave time on the clock either.
Both these teams have proven they can air it out. As Dearden looking to throw. Pressure's coming. Gets out of it. Out past the 30 for a first down and jukes his way to the 37.
Great job. I thought it was a sack. I was like, oh, he's down. And then all of a sudden, he's pulling an Eli Manning and showing that he's got the stuff to get a first.
Gain of 10 on that keeper for Coleman Dearden. First and 10. 4:17 and counting. They'll hand off to Ferries up the middle and past the 40. Gain of about 4 on first down.
Man, Coleman, more like cool man. He's so cool under pressure. Even when the pocket is collapsing around him, he's like Indiana Jones, not worried about anything that's going on, just keeping his eye on the first down.
Had 249 rushing yards as the quarterback going into the night. That's second most of all rushers for Stansbury. 2nd and 6. Pressure coming up the middle. Dearden gonna let it rip. It's got a man out there, incomplete. Little too far, intended for, I believe that's Rich here on the near side, but it could be wrong. That's Lewis, excuse me.
Man.
Had 2 receivers over here, just overshot him a little bit.
The one thing that was coming in was Griffiths, number 33. He slowed down just a little bit to not be a roughing the passer, and this whole stadium was like, I don't know about that one, ref.
So the incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 6 here for Stansbury. Need to get to the 47 for a first down. 3-point game, 3:39 to go. Mustangs show blitz. Dearden over the middle. Rich was wide open. Off of the hands, incomplete, and 4th down for Stansbury. Had his top receiver wide open over the middle.
He's going to want that one back for
Just
sure.
a little off target, and it's now 4th down. This will be the 4th time tonight. The Stallions will go for it.
4th down has been the money down, though. What I've loved is Coach Leslie has made phenomenal calls on 4th down all night long. Let's see if he can keep it up.
And timeout is called. And that should be the last timeout for Stansbury. So we'll take the timeout as well. 3:34 to go. A big play coming up next here on KSL Sports Rewind. Welcome back. 3:34 to play. 4th and 6 upcoming here for Stansbury. And with how many timeouts we've been seeing so far, this might be the game here for the Stallions.
Yeah, they've been good. 3 of 4 so far on 4th downs. If you can make it 4 of 4, your play calling might not be at Stansbury long. You might be heading straight to the NFL.
It's 4th and 6 here. 4th time the Stallions have gone for it. On 4th down, they're 3 for 3 so far. Mustangs show pressure. Fires over the middle. It's broken up. Incomplete.
Phenomenal play right there by McKay Wright. Like I said, just like Bo Tate, he was right there, right in the hip pocket of the receiver, got his long arm in, and can't go 4 for 4, but 3 for 4, really good. This Stansbury team is devastated, but there's still a little bit of time left. I believe Crimson Cliffs has to get a first down.
Still have to get the first down to end the game here. Still 3:31 to go.
Unless I'm wrong. I'm doing my math. I'm right.
You are right.
Okay. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Cannot kneel the clock out just yet. So 1st and 10 as the Mustangs take over, and good tackle there. That one from number 23, Max Olson in the backfield, stops him for no gain.
Absolutely nowhere to go for Christiansen. Man, I can't believe how good that play by McKay Wright was. It could have been 6, honestly.
Got there right in the nick of time to knock that one away. Stansbury fans thought it was a little early.
What? The home fans thought that? That's crazy.
It was pretty close. I'll give them that. 2nd and 10 here. Clock's running under 3 minutes to go now.
They're waiting for the ref to start counting. The ref's counting now.
As Christiansen will get the call once more. Breaks it outside and wisely gets down near the 30. He's going to be a yard shy of the line to gain. The 32-yard line.
He thinks first down.
Smart play to stay in bounds there. It keeps the clock running, but it's 3rd and 1 here. And a big opportunity here for the Stallions defense. 2:10 and counting here. Again, no play clocks here at Stansbury High, so we're off the officiating crew here for how much time left. Under 10 seconds up. And timeout called by the Mustangs. As that clock was winding down, I don't think they were ready for it.
It's better to get the right play in right here, but what an exciting game. And there's a reason both these teams are top in their region. You can see the ferocity, the ferociousness, and the amazing coaching by both staffs. Like, a lot of times in high school, you're like, oh, this coach, he's kind of figuring it out. No, there's decades of experience on both sides.
Well, we'll keep it here for the timeout. We'll take a look at scores from around these regions. Looking at Region 9, the scores down there in southern Utah. Hurricane gets a big win at Snow Canyon. They move to 2-2 in region play, 35-7 over the Warriors. At Pineview, late in the fourth quarter, the Panthers with a 24-21 lead over Cedar City. And Desert Hills with a big win over Dixie. Big play here, 3rd and short. Chris Jansen spins out of the tackle. He's got the first down, and that should be the dagger.
Oh, nail in the coffin. Great job by both sides. Phenomenal game, and now you don't have that awkward bus ride for 5 hours.
Spot the ball at the 24-yard line, and that should be it. The Stallions out of timeouts. 1:35 and counting.
Are there only... What are they all yelling about?
I'm just waiting to see how much time's left here.
Ref's counting.
Ref's got his arm up now.
He puts his arm up with 10 seconds and then starts counting at 5.
And there's the kneel down.
Hey, Crimson Cliffs fans, thanks for making the long ride.
As
for the game tonight.
we should have one more kneel down before that should be it for this one. What a fun game it was. Came down to the wire.
Way to show up.
It's been a fun game, honestly. This is what you love to see. Just cross town, basically state. It's really cross-state games. I mean, if you go to the East Coast, this would have been 3 or 4 states away. But I have been so impressed by all the players. Great, great, great game, especially by Malachi, Alofipo, and General Stokes.
As that will be the final kneel, and that will be the game. The Crimson Cliffs Mustangs take the long bus ride up to the Tooele Valley and pick up a win. 24-21 the final as the Mustangs improve to 5-2 on the season.
Oh, I was just flabbergasted. Great job by both teams. Phenomenal game. My player of the game goes to Malachi Alofipo. And I am so excited to see both of these teams later in the year, probably at Rice Eccles.
I'll give the game ball to Major Stokes. He was the big man on defense for the Mustangs in this one tonight, as he was the one that drew the holding call in the end zone for that safety that kind of changed the momentum of this game tonight. So the final score here from Stansbury High, it's the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs 24 and the Stansbury Stallions 21. Looking up next for both these teams, the Mustangs head back home for senior night next Friday night as they host Hurricane. We mentioned just picked up that win against Snow Canyon. For Stansbury, they'll be on the road next week as they go to Hillcrest. Both these teams, Moose, by the way, still undefeated in region play. Stansbury and Crimson Cliffs both 3-0 in their respective regions. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for watching tonight's broadcast. For everybody here with KSL Sports Rewind, for Tino upstairs, for Moose, I'm Matt Coma signing off tonight. Crimson Cliffs gets the road win tonight. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you next week for Week 8 of the high school football season.